In a kingdom far beyond the horizon, where rivers sparkled like liquid silver and forests whispered secrets of centuries, there lived a princess named Alira. The people of the kingdom admired her for her beauty and elegance, for her long black hair fell like a river of silk down her back, and her eyes glimmered like the stars above the royal palace at night. She was always dressed in gowns woven with the finest silks, embroidered with diamonds, and adorned with real flowers. Her voice was as delicate as a soft whine through the trees, yet her heart harbored a secret darkness that no one could see. Princess Alira loved gold. She loved the way it shone in the sunlight, the way it glimmered in the moonlight, and the way it made everyone around her bow in awe. Gold to her was not just wealth, it was power, it was respect, it was life itself. Her father, King Heron, a wise and patient ruler, often tried to teach her the value of kindness and compassion. He told her that true wealth was not counted in coins, but in the love of those whose lives you touch. Alira would listen, smile politely, and nod, but deep in her heart, she believed that gold was the only thing worth pursuing. She was not cruel, but she was blind to the needs of others, and she rarely noticed the sorrow of those less fortunate than herself. The palace was filled with riches, yet it was a silent place, for the princess kept herself isolated, obsessed with the accumulation of wealth. One evening, under the silver glow of a full moon, a mysterious traveler arrived at the palace gates. He was old and thin, dressed in a cloak that shimmered like starlight, and his eyes glowed with a strange, otherworldly light. The guards tried to stop him, but he spoke with a calm authority that could not be denied. "I bring a gift for Princess Alira," he said. "A gift that will reveal her destiny." The guards, hesitant but curious, escorted him to the princess. Alira was intrigued. She rarely saw strangers unafraid of her or the palace, and now, one dared to speak of her destiny. When he entered her chamber, he placed a small, simple object on the table before her. Alira leaned forward, her eyes widening with astonishment. It was a brick. But it was no ordinary brick. It gleamed with a golden glow that seemed to have captured the sunlight itself. "This is a golden brick," the traveler said softly. "It holds the power to grant unimaginable wealth. Place it anywhere, and riches will follow. But beware, its magic will only flourish if your heart is pure. If greed overwhelms you, it will become a curse instead of a blessing." King Heron, who had followed Alira into the room, felt a chill in his heart. He could sense the danger in the traveler's warning. "Daughter, this is no ordinary gift. Do not let it tempt you. Wealth should never be valued above all else." Alira, however, could not resist. She took the golden brick into her hands, and at that moment, a warmth ran through her fingers, as though the brick itself was alive. She felt excitement and greed swelling within her chest. "I will have it," she said firmly. "This belongs to me." The traveler smiled faintly. "Remember my words," he said. "The choice is yours." And with that, he vanished, leaving the princess alone with the glowing golden brick. From that night onward, Alira's life transformed. She placed the brick in her treasury, and soon gold began to multiply at an extraordinary pace. Treasure chests overflowed, halls shimmered with gilded light, and the palace seemed to float above the earth in wealth. Yet, Alira's heart, already blind to others, became further consumed by desire. The princess began to crave more than what one golden brick could produce. If one brick can create this much wealth, imagine the power of 10, 20, 100, she thought. She pressed the brick, wishing for it to multiply. And the magic obeyed her command. The brick split into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 8, and soon the palace was filled with hundreds of golden bricks, each glowing ominously. At first, she reveled in her success. She built towers of gold, walls lined with treasure, and floors that glittered underfoot. Yet, slowly, the magic began to turn dark. Anything the bricks touched transformed into lifeless gold. Trees, crops, rivers, furniture, even food began turning to solid gold. The kingdom's once lush landscapes became glittering, barren wastelands. Birds stopped singing, rivers lost their sparkle, and flowers wilted under the oppressive weight of the magic. The people of the kingdom suffered. Farmers could no longer grow food. Bakers could not knead dough. Merchants found their goods hardened into cold gold. Hunger and despair swept through the land. They pleaded with the princess, but her ears were deafened by greed. She could not let go of her golden treasures, not even for a moment. Her father, King Heron, was heartbroken. "Alira, you must stop this," he begged. "The magic was never meant to enslave the land or your people. True wealth is in life and love, not gold." But Alira's heart had hardened completely. "If I stop now, I lose everything," she said coldly. "The golden brick is mine, and it will obey me." Time passed, and the curse of the golden brick grew stronger. The princess herself began to change. Her hands became heavy and metallic, her skin shimmered unnaturally, and she realized with growing horror that the magic had begun to consume her own body. One night, she stood alone in her golden hall, gazing at her reflection in a gilded mirror. She barely recognized herself. Her black hair still flowed, but it was streaked with golden threads. Her eyes, once bright, reflected only greed and sorrow. Fear gripped her for the first time in her life. "Father, help me," she cried, falling to her knees. "I cannot stop this. I never wanted this to happen." The king held her trembling hands. "Daughter, your heart must change. Gold can never heal what greed has broken. Only sacrifice and kindness can." That night, Alira had a dream. The mysterious traveler appeared before her again, his silver cloak shimmering in the darkness. "You ignored my warning," he said. "The brick reflects the state of your heart. Only by embracing compassion can you break the curse. Tell me what to do." Alira begged. "I will give away all my gold. I will help the people. I will change." The traveler nodded. "Your heart must not only wish to change, it must act. You must give without expecting, love without desire, and serve without reward. Only then will you be free." When she awoke, she found her body turned entirely to gold. She could move no more, speak no more. Panic gripped her, but the realization of her greed settled in even deeper. She had become a golden statue, a warning of what unchecked desire could bring. The people mourned. They buried the golden bricks deep underground, and slowly, the kingdom began to recover. Rivers flowed again, trees grew lush leaves, and animals returned to the forests. Yet the princess remained frozen, a silent monument to her own mistakes. Years passed, and the legend of the golden brick spread far and wide. Travelers spoke of the princess who became gold, a cautionary tale of greed and vanity. The kingdom healed, but the memory of Alira's arrogance lingered in every corner. One quiet afternoon, a young, kind-hearted girl wandered into the palace gardens. She saw the golden statue of the princess and whispered softly, "I hope you learn what love and kindness are. I hope you find joy beyond gold." At that moment, a miracle occurred. A single tear rolled down the statue's cheek, shimmering like crystal. Slowly, the gold began to fade from Alira's body. She fell to the ground, gasping, feeling warmth return to her fingers, her face, her heart. She was alive once more. When she looked at the little girl's innocent face, Alira felt something she had never felt before: gratitude. The warmth of human connection, the joy of compassion, and the beauty of giving without expectation overwhelmed her. She realized that the traveler's warning had always been true: wealth was meaningless without love. From that day onward, Princess Alira transformed completely. She opened the palace gates to all, shared the kingdom's treasures, and devoted her life to helping the poor, healing the land, and serving the people who had once suffered under her greed. She destroyed the remaining golden bricks forever, ensuring that no one would ever fall victim to their temptation again. The kingdom thrived as never before. People sang, rivers sparkled, and flowers bloomed in abundance. And Princess Alira, once known for her beauty and wealth, became celebrated for her wisdom, her generosity, and her pure heart. She learned that true richness lay not in gold, but in love, kindness, and the joy of giving. Legends say that on quiet nights, When the moonlight bathes the palace gardens, the wind whispers the tale of the golden brick and the princess who almost lost her soul to greed, but found it again through the power of a kind heart. And thus, the story of Princess Alira endures, a timeless reminder that gold can glitter, but only compassion can truly shine.